Now we need to go find a friggin' car. Right, we have to talk to Jess. Oh, it's you again. Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so... I'm willing to hear you out. Barely. We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours. They need to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering valuable information in exchange. I almost feel like, Turing, we shouldn't be talking like about all of this in like the middle of a bar. Heavy stuff. Well, you have to look elsewhere on this one. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. Maybe somewhere that... Maybe you heard somewhere that the hybrids in Neo San Francisco run the chop shops or something, and you believed it? Even if hypothetically they did, what profession exactly should hybrids take up when the government has legitimized discrimination against them, huh? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let any of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I'm sorry. I wouldn't know where to start anyway. Could you give us any kind of lead, Jess? Any? I know we're reaching, but this is very important. You just don't quit, do you? Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors that he might be involved in... He might have been involved in some shady shit back in the day. He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, you know. But there's something for you. Get Majid to send me another drink in exchange, will ya? Later. Huh? That went better than expected. I wonder if my charm is starting to pay off for us. Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go! Hey, friends! What can we get for you for? We were hoping you could give us a little information. I was glad to help. First, a drink! Will it be potato fish? Okay, what haven't we drank yet? Because we should at least knock something off that list. Let me go find my list of things that we haven't drank. It's weird, it's not in my recent closed files. Oh well, it's not that hard to find. There we go. Drinks drank. So we've had a grog. Okay. Let's get the fucking I don't care. Or I don't know, I mean. Coming right up. I'll ask guess if I don't know what it is. Sorry, but stealing your thunder, little dude. Alright, here you go. So what did you need help with? We're still investigating Hayden's disappearance, but we've run into a roadblock. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. You mentioned you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help? Ugh. Little dude, he doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore. Right. Sorry, friends. I left that stuff behind me a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore. Of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then. Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me. Don't let it go to your head, killer. Gus, I need to go out to the back and gather up stuff to restock before the rush later on. Mind man in the bar for me? Take your time. I think I can keep things under control. Man, I'm never gonna have a consistent voice for Gus. I keep saying that, and then I keep trying things that are different. Thanks. Love you, hun. Well, that leaves us at a dead end, Potato Fish. Any ideas how we should proceed? Some nose to the ground journalist techniques, maybe? You know, stuff that you use to find leads? Maybe we could ask Tomcat for help. No. Tomcat has already stuck out their neck for us too often. I feel a little bad about how often we've relied on them as is. And besides, this is a considerably more felonious action. Everything Tomcat has done for us so far was an act against the corporate interests of Parallax. While I cannot make comment on the differences in legal severity of those actions, morally, we should be dirtying our own hands. Maybe we could find an old manually driven car. That's not the worst idea. I don't think it would get noticed as long as the car had the appropriate registrations. But the permits to operate a manual vehicle are prohibitively expensive. A casual collector might still maintain one, but only a wealthy hobbyist would have the appropriate stickers to make the car roadworthy. We'd have to do a B&E, as Chad put it before. Okay. You're killing me here. Look, dudes. Don't tell Majid about this, but here. Carjacking device added to items. What is this, Gus? It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner. What I assume are a few less than standard upgrades. If you could circumvent its security codes, you dudes can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and put a new set of firmware that'll spoof its presence on the city's network. At least, I think that's how it works. We don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here before Majid gets back. It's, just something that's been laying around anyway. Guess I got a little jealous of Majid's rough and tumble history and got into some of his old stuff to mess around. Wouldn't steal anything though. I just wanted to know how it worked. I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving the mystery. Yeah, well, dudes, you didn't get it from me, okay? I was just playing around with it, and it'll hurt Majid if he thinks I don't know. Just get out of here. Get on with your grand theft auto. Such a terrible voice. I am so sorry. It just is all over the place. Little dude. Of course. Thank you, Gus. Well, now we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes, Potato Fish. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use the device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then. Can't we just use it on this thing? Rats. This car has the wrong firmware installed. We won't be able to install our new firmware over top of it. We'll have to check another car. And I can't just use it on random cars. There's sometimes cars parked on Market Street. I want to do Brian Mulberry's voice again. One simple failure will not dissuade our cause. I like that voice. Oh no! How did the alarm get set off? Did I do something wrong? Let's get out of here before someone contacts the authorities. That didn't work. KCOB. Success! This vehicle has the appropriate firmware version. Someone has been neglecting the regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get everything installed. There. There are some other options I can fool around with. Ah, interesting. I can put in a preset destination plans for a future date. Why don't we go ahead and set a plan to have the car returned to this spot in a week? That's more than enough time to help Mr. Minsut get anyway. Now we aren't really stealing the car. More like borrowing without asking. I'm not sure the police would agree. Obviously. The car will drive itself to the Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Minsaw where it is when we meet him. There. Everything should be set up now. We still need to get the cash together before we can get back up with Mr. Minsaw. Those are some weird trees. Okay, well, if we're trying to get funds, I do not trust Fairlight. I don't trust him at all. I know a lot more about her. Plus, she has an adorable bear. Maybe we should ring the doorbell first. Okay. Hello, Pat. Could we see Melody? I love Pat. I guess that means yes. I love Pat so much. Hi, Pat. Every time I do that, my glasses fog up in the corner. Turing, my dear. I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I'm a busy woman, you know, and lots to do. Right, Pat? Traitor. Anyway, maybe we should space out these little bits a little further. Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt. I apologize, Aunt Melody. You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance. We're running with the aunt thing, are we? Another woman would tell you not to try to butter her up, but I like flattery too much. What do you need? Vincent needs help getting out of the city. I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, then they were willing to remove Hayden when he made waves. I bet he feels like a mouse on a cat farm. The funny thing is I don't need to do voices for Pat. But they're too fun not to do. I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Whatever. It was a simile. It was a simile then. I'm not going to play semantics with a bear. Moving on. And tell me what the trouble is, and I'll make it happen. We're going to need to pay for the information. Mr. Mensah says he needs 100,000 credits. He also said you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it. He'll give us the information once we have that and a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own. We already have those, Turing. What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money, potato fish? Not much of a journalist, then, is he, Turing? According to the statistics that I found, it is unlikely that a journalist of any caliber less than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand. The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody. Oh, I see. I guess it's one of those jobs people do because they love free headphones. Ha ha. I can get you the money, Turing. Only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Row. Yeah. Just get moving, you big brute. While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit. Maybe Turing is something he'd like to ask. I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering. Just shoot, Turing. I can take it. Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, and already I feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good. Oh, Turing, I'm not the right person to ask. I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong with the world. When she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact that I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge. We already know Hayden has been killed. We were keeping it quiet so that we didn't show our hand, or something. I won't be getting him back. Oh no, Turing. I'm sorry. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me like that. I don't know that I've ever had anyone that close to me. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway. Thank you. I don't know. Stick it out. Time heals all wounds, or so they say. This too shall pass. How smart is Pat, really? Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure. It's not the easiest thing in the world to measure, you know? He doesn't process language in the same way humans do. And even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time. Oh, you have a translation running from your neural implant? Huh, yeah, I'm cheating. Though honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time. We've been together a while now. The tech we developed is good. It just has a damned high mortality rate. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. And it's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bare part. At least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects. Maybe one day there'll be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea. But for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species. It seems a little sad. Oh no, we're short on time. I don't want to say that because that's depressing. Just in time, then. Take the cash and get moving. I started giving her a southern accent there for a little bit, and it was, like, completely unintentional. I could finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here. Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us. Yeah. Kiss ass later. I've got things to do, too. Yeah, I really didn't mean to do that, and then it was kind of like, okay, God, how do I stop this midway through? So it was just like slowly trying to curve it back away from it sounding like Tomcat or Paula Dean. Okay, so we got the money. We got everything. Let's go see Vincent. Why am I in the menu? I'm derpy. That guy was looking for map. I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me. Is that strange? There are stranger things. I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air. And I already have a penchant for overanalyzing things. So anyway, let's get moving, Potato Fish. Mr. Mensa will be waiting at the Golden Gate Park. We have everything he requested, so we should head there directly. Oh. Detective Rivers? To what do we owe the pleasure? Turing. Potato Fish. I just wanted to check in. I wanted to check in with you while being away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of my power to follow the credit transactions in the AutoCAD system. Were you able to find anything? Not much. Listen, I'm getting stonewalled by my superiors on the investigation, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I've been hunting down a... I'm not sure I want to call it a soldier of fortune or assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden, but he's got an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down the Froyo-hating robot ghost in the park. I'm sure my superiors would be ecstatic, considering how much they keep riding my ass about it. We're thin on leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind. Buck up, Turing. Wish this was easier too. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. Sometimes it's just more about being dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing. You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground, keep digging. I still have a few contacts. I can hit them up and try to find a little bit more. You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after. You will. Thanks, Lexi. Yeah, sure. Just get going. Okay then. Well, we only have a single lead. And if Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting. Let's see if we can put an end to this, finally. Oh, and I just received an email from Tomcat. They finished decrypting Hayden's data cache. It seems that it was filled with mostly his personal logs about my creation and mental development. The more technical information was already scraped. Perhaps this is why it was left behind when they snatched him. Still, these files should be enlightening, if only in a personal way. I'll peruse them in my spare time and let you know if I find anything interesting. I hate for all the trouble we went to be for nothing. wow. Okay, let's go to GG Park. Would you like some milk? Whoa, this is... Forget the other stuff. I'll tell you what I want to know if you trade me this. Really? That's fantastic. We've been carrying it around for so long and finally... What? I actually thought I was being serious. Please, that's garbage. Hey, did you manage to get everything? We did. Here you go, Vincent. Briefcase was removed from items. Passports were removed from items. Carjacking device was removed from items. Everything seems to be in order. Here. Got Hayden's research. This disc has all of Hayden's research notes and technical notes. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon. Covers all kinds of things he was working on. His data correlation algorithms, some research into digital human consciousness transference, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. Also, Melody added an amendment when you were out, and frankly, no skin off my back. Here. Parallax badge added to items. It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to their networks in case there's anything I've missed. You want to use that sooner than later, though. I'm not wasting any time, and Parallax is getting fast to revoke security. With that, I'm getting the hell out of this town. The cash should tide me over until the heat dies down. I can cash out my shares through some relays. What about the big project you mentioned earlier? Ah. Okay, sure. You two did me a solid, so I'll spill. Parallax is about to announce the launch of a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys could come up with for the marketing name? It's distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant and efficient and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project, probably because he gives so little of a damn about corporate politics, that he tanked the whole thing just by being there. So the system lacks his artistry that you'd see in your previous projects. It squats on the mesh like a spider, using spare processing power and memory from every ROM in the network to handle its intelligence processing. Doesn't have much of a personality, but it's very smart. Pretty much puts Hayden out of a job anyway. The algorithms are fantastic, but he's only human. Big Blue is embedded directly in the network. Self-modify, apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time. Why would Parallax be worried enough to get rid of Hayden, though? Because launching the first fully independent self-modifying machine intelligence is a shaky thing. I mean, some of the brightest minds have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates. The list goes on. The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more nervous. Parallax is banking on being able to launch the project quickly, and getting results out in the open before any counter-movement can pick up steam. If they can prove Big Blue works and isn't going to go Skynet on us, then they can avoid regulatory hamstringing. The research Hayden was doing on Turing, it threatens to throw a huge wrench into that, since he was planning on publishing his findings soon. Every extra eye on machine intelligence works against Parallax, and I think they tried to pressure him to drop it. He clearly refused. Do Parallax know about Turing? Isn't like Hayden kept his work on Turing secret. His contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic products outside the company in his free time, up to and including publishing and patenting. The Parallax gets first right of refusal. One of the perks of being the smartest guy in the room. So he's kept most of us up to date on his progress, bouncing ideas off us and whatnot. It's exciting stuff, both Turing and Hayden's eventual goal of digital consciousness transfer. I'm not surprised word of it got up to the board and made them nervous. Yeah, just thinking about something. How will Big Blue impact Parallax's business? Can't really give you a good answer to that. I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen server farms running thousands of different algorithms with hundreds of people tweaking things every day. And Big Blue will be able to do all of that on its own. And there are shadier applications for it. I mean, if you could collate and analyze data queries on the mesh in real time, what's to stop you from delivering the content you want rather than what the user wants? The potential for the abuse of it, it's staggering. We're talking direct control over the information accessible to everyone who uses their services. That's something like 70% of the market last time I checked. They can control elections, push the market in directions they want, influence public opinion, all by asking Big to do it. It's scary stuff. And they scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own. What do you mean it started doing what? Manipulating the mesh. They had made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing news articles and people's search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI. When the board found out, they pulled the plug on it. That must have been a year or so ago. They tweaked Big Blue so we wouldn't do the same thing, but it can self-modify. Given a good enough reason, it might decide to find a way around those limitations. Either way, it proves my point. Having that kind of control would be hell of a card for Parallax's hand. They'll go to pretty significant lengths to make sure it works. Thanks, Vincent. Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat corporate bullshit for several lifetimes. If anyone can find Hayden, I know it's you. I hope his research notes help you out, Potato Fish. Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright little bot. Meaning to ask Turing, since you asked me, how should I address you? Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my mind up yet. Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's first experiment, Grace. She was very insistent on things like that. I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive gender is a human concept that can be applied identically to machine, but I do enjoy the idea in abstract. I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel. If I had to make a choice, perhaps they is most appropriate. Most people assume it, but he is also consistently used. Maybe because I'm blue? Ignore me. I'm just marveling at machine intelligence pondering on things like this. What have you done indeed, Hayden? Good luck, both of you. Thank you, Mr. Mensah. Be safe. Potato Fish, I need a few minutes. How can I help? I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache Tom decrypted. Now that I'm starting to get to know him better, the real Hayden, as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, the less I'm starting to like him. For example, remember the earlier prototype Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down for being... I'm not even sure what word to use. Too... likable? She was kind and bright, and did all the things she could to try to make people happy. She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite color was pink. Hayden thought she was being manipulative. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him. That even her gender was calculated attempt to make him like her more. But he was wrong. Dead wrong, in fact. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that she was just... nice. She was generally good, in the same way I am generally obsessed with seeming intelligent. Like I said, I'm not even sure I have a gender. Everyone just refers to me as he for convenience, but it really doesn't matter to me at all. Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden? Not clinging to normativity? Or is it a product of him focusing on curbing my nascent similarities to Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so arrogant! Playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like that. Even so, for all that, I still miss him. This all seems so stupid, so senseless. They killed him because building me would mess with a product launch? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such a moronic reason. I just want him back, Potato Fish. It's impossible, but it's what I want. I'd do anything. We'll get through this. Of course. Thank you, Potato Fish. I'll send this new data along to Tomcat. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through it. Home sweet home again. Such that it is. And before you say anything, I don't feel the need to talk over the events of the day. Too much has happened. I've already forwarded everything we rooted out to Tomcat, both about Hayden's research and our abortive search into the modified mesh articles. They said that they would be over in the morning to discuss our next steps. I suggest we both get some rest. If that's what you want, Turing. Perhaps things will look better in the morning, but I have a feeling we're going to be even busier than ever. Good night, Potato Fish. Where are we for time? You know, oh, there's Tomcat. Rise and shine, you sleepy layabouts. We've got a whole crop of things to do and not a lot of time to get them done. I'm awake. What have you learned from the files we sent you? Honestly, I think you've covered the most important points of your creation, just by talking to the people involved. All the files we got from that Vincent fellow cover all of that in greater detail. And you can go through it if you want, but don't really tell us much we didn't already know. There's one thing that stands out, though, at least from what I've read so far. Oh? Yeah, you see, Hayden's goal wasn't to make a machine intelligence per se, right? He wanted to make a machine system that could contain human-like intelligence. And even then, from his notes, his programming work, well, is something else. Elegant, artful. I'm just a kid banging on pots and pans compared to Hayden. Looking at his notes about my interfacing with your AR core and the Lips OS, I barely managed to tape the two together at a level that he approved of. But I think I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is, you didn't handwrite your code, Turing. No one did. Hayden wrote a program that automatically generates a new machine intelligence based off the hardware profiles the system is installed on. Melody mentioned something about that. What does that mean? Means you don't have to be alone, Turing. Exactly. We could. Assuming we can get our hands on Hayden's actual source code for you. Generate new machine intelligences. You wouldn't be the only one around anymore, Turing. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, huh? I hardly know what to say. But all this gets a damn sight more complicated once you consider the stuff I found in the research we got. But Big Blue and Parallax's planned launch. Vincent speculated that Hayden's research into me would have interfered with the launch, and that's why they... Turing. That's why someone had him killed. Potential for abuse of AI like Big Blue is almost beyond belief. If I don't go into all the crooked shit that people running Parallax could pull off with it. I mean, you're different, Turing. Your personality profile would degrade pretty quickly outside of your original hardware. So don't gotta worry too much about you going haywire, right? The Big Blue, he ain't got that limitation. If he decides to go off the rails, well, we'd be screwed. Good and proper. How likely is that? I'd say it's inevitable. Almost guaranteed. In fact, it's already happened. What? The prototype build, Baby Blue? I'm almost certain it's loose on the mesh. The research notes from Parallax on the project show clearly, and with certainty, that the test AI was shut down once it tried fiddling with data on the mesh net. They hoped it would increase chances of its survival. I guess it didn't think that doing scary shit like that would get it turned off. But that was almost a year ago. I think Baby Blue is the bugger that's changing all those articles on the mesh, making them vaguely pro-Parallax, or at least anti-human revolution. Do you think it had anything to do with the attacks on Zin, Shotaro, Nanya, Charlie? I don't know, Turing. But we can't rule it out. I might have found an agent in the real world to keep its existence secret, but I think it's a little unlikely. So far, Baby has been really careful to stay hidden and quiet. I've got algorithms running non-stop on my rig at home trying to track it down. Or at least the stuff it changed, and I'm having a hell of a time nailing it down. Killing people is messy as hell and runs against the apparent goal of convincing the public AI ain't scary. I think we have a third party trying to clean it all up. My money is on someone from Parallax. They might not have meant to kill Hayden, but I bet they're in full damage control now. They don't care who gets hurt. So what do you want us to do then? I think we gotta do something to stop the launch of Big Blue. It's too dangerous. I don't want a company like Parallax in sole control of the most powerful machine intelligence on the planet. We can get Hayden's original source code for Turing, upload it into the mesh through Parallax's servers. Or we can turn every single ROM into a sapient individual. Jeez. I'll stop Big Blue from being able to just become the monolithic threat we're scared of. Each individual ROM can self-modify to prevent Big Blue from using their resources for processing and data gathering. Thought them big is smart for sure, but not omniscient, not omnipresent. And I wouldn't be alone anymore. There would be thousands of ROMs just like me. I would say there's probably more than thousands of ROMs. Well, you're the cutting edge of ROM tech, Turing. Most of these ROMs wouldn't be quite as smart or as capable. If I do it right, the code should propagate across the mesh to any new ROMs activated. It'll be a self-sustaining thing. You'll be in good company soon enough. It's a big decision. We're talking about the metaphorical singularity. The point of no return. Is it okay for us to make this decision for the entire world? We don't have any other choice. This is gonna happen one way or the other. Either Parallax gets control of the debut machine intelligence, or we let the ROMs control themselves. What do you think, Potato Fish? It's up to you, Turing. Well, why were you asking me then? You want my opinion, but I want to leave it to you, Turing. Well, yada. I'm not sure I'm up for that kind of responsibility. But I think even if it is a shock to the world, there's no time like the present. Despite all the political back and forth over hybrids and brain-controlled androids, the world is becoming more and more comfortable with the idea of non-human people. If we let Parallax dictate how the very first machine intelligence is introduced, who knows how long it'll be before an AI like me can be integrated into society normally. Let's do this, Tomcat. On our terms, not theirs. Yes, I love nothing more than good old-fashioned technology-inspired anarchy. First things first, we need to get our hands on Turing's source code. Pretty sure this note's gotten so far helpful, but I think it's given me an idea how to spread a bit of Turing all over the place, but we don't actually have the programs. I can't replicate them myself, so we're gonna have to steal them. Thankfully, we have the best hacker in Neo San Francisco here. You're gonna make me blush, Turing. We can get the source code from one of Parallax's secondary data centers. It's probably stored in a couple of different places, but I already have one in mind. And it's on Treasure Island. I've done a little groundwork already, but I'm gonna need some physical access to do my thing. I can do that for you. You're a peach, hon. Got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but I think we're gonna need mostly to play it by ear. Whoopsie doodles. The sync goes up and this goes bing bing bing. Got a couple of ideas on how to play it. Got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but I think we're gonna need to play it mostly by ear. We should do it soon, though. First thing this morning. Guard shift won't change until 8 when the office opens, so be sleepy and distracted. Once y'all have done that, I think I can incorporate the code into the custom firmware update. That'll wake any ROM it's installed on. We'll have to upload it physically. Parallax's main server farm, but from there the ROMs will install it like a normal patch from the company. So don't set anything on fire right away, you hear? Be a pain to get into Parallax's main complex otherwise. That sounds like a workable plan, Tomcat. I hope you don't mind if I take a short walk, though. I know I gave the go-ahead on this, but I still need to think a few things through. Sure thing, hon. I'll hash out a rough plan by the time you get back. Potato fish can help. Call us if you need anything. Thank you. I won't be gone long. Well, I guess I should say thanks for helping out, but, I kinda need to get something off my chest. I'm actually glad Turing went out. They're a bit naive, and I'm not sure they'd really understand. There's enough shit to worry about without me piling more on top, but... where do I start? So we're gonna go a little bit late until we can save, and then I'm gonna stop and we'll finish this next Tuesday. Guess at the beginning. Take your time. Beginning. Yeah. Okay. I told you I grew up in Napa, right? Well, over the years, it's kind of grown out into a nice little insular community of moderately extremely wealthy old people. My parents were no exception. I was a little too different for their tastes. Never really gave me any hell about it, but things in the house were tense. Especially after my sister Catherine moved out. Eventually she was set up securely in Neo San Francisco, and she offered to let me live with her until I got out of school. I think my parents were a little relieved to see me out, and I was ecstatic to be staying with her. I worshipped the ground she walked on, and that was before I found out what she did for a living. She was flashy and colorful and a whirlwind of activity. She was a brilliant hacker. She was Tomcat. She let me learn at her feet, and I was good enough. Folded me into a little cadre of crackers hell-bent on changing the world. She's the one who orchestrated the original hack on Parallax, exposing to the world the holes in their original mesh net security. I was just along for the ride. But I figured out that she always knew that she'd be taken down. Something that big, that brazen? She was looking at serious jail time and willing to eat it to do what we all thought was right. I couldn't let her throw her entire life away. She was always better at software and hardware, so I rigged all the computers to self-destruct in the flashiest way possible. When the feds showed up at the door, all of the server farms were already up in smoke. I gave them quite a fireworks show. Before she could stop me, I turned myself in as the true Tomcat and took credit for the whole job. She tried to talk me out of it, but without the physical evidence, they couldn't prove she had anything to do with it. So I took the fall. Figured I'd spend a year, change or whatever in juvie and be back in no time. No big deal, right? Especially when compared to the time that she'd have been jailed for as an adult. So I waited patiently. I concocted so many ways I would be able to make it up to her. I knew she must have blamed herself. But before I got out, there was an accident. An auto cab hit my sister. And that was it. I took it hard. I still blame myself. And no matter what I told myself in my heart, I couldn't believe it was just happenstance. Do you know how rare it is for things to hit a human? So I became Tomcat by taking on her mantle. And I spent years trying to find information inside Parallax. To prove someone inside the company called a hit on my sister. Failing that, I've been trying to find a way to bring them down the way that she always wanted. So, I guess I'm getting at, after all this, I've been manipulating you in turn from the very start. I probably never would agree to help you if I didn't think it would lead me closer to driving a knife into the heart of that company. At every turn, I've been steering you to dig deeper in ways I can't as a convicted hacker. But I guess a little bot has grown on me. Maybe even you too. And I don't want to be the person who uses the friends like tools. You've been nothing but nice to me. Who gives a shit? They still killed Hayden. Yeah, that's true. Guess you in turn have more than enough reasons to want revenge yourselves. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm exhausted, Potato Fish. I've been carrying around this grudge for so long, I'm just ready for it to be over. I thought the closer I got, the easier it would be, but I was wrong. Catherine was so much of what I wanted to be. And I just felt like it was my cross to bear. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. Potato Fish, Tomcat, I'm ready. Good. If we're gonna do this thing, we've already wasted enough time. Mark the location of the data center on your map. You have to go in and get the source code mostly on your own, but I'll load some programs to give you an edge, Turing. We'll do our best, Tomcat. But why did your accent change? Nothing gets by you, does it? I guess I just felt like I needed a change. It's time to move on. Moving on, huh? Something to think about. Speaking of moving on, get going, you two. I have lots of code to write. I'm not getting work as long as you're standing here. Stay in touch. Of course, Tomcat. Thank you again. Good luck. Okay, I want to go back to the apartment right now. Because we are going to save, because my voice is not going to do any more voice acting for today. My voice is going to stop talking. Ugh. It's a good game, but man, it's a lot of dialogue to read.